Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. So it looks like, as I was thinking yesterday, that there was going to be the Preston was being a little too generous with the diamond mine, because as you can see, we got over 100 billion gems in the last 24 hours, and we really only played about maybe 7 hours in those 24 of grinding the diamond mine. So that's a ton of gems. So about 30 minutes ago, the servers all reset, and guess what? No more diamond mine gems like we were getting. So we definitely are not getting 7 times anything like we were getting before. Or maybe we are, but we're getting 7 times maybe of what they first originally put out on the very first update, when we were getting like one or two gems per click, that kind of thing. Because it's really giving you not much. It's still giving you millions, but it's not giving you very many millions at one time. So we decided that because of that, we're going to stop wasting our time at the diamond mine at this point, and start working on knocking out some of these quests. So I know a bunch of you guys have been working on the quests, of course, and we've only done a couple of them because being again that it was so generous in the diamond mine, we were definitely trying to make sure that we were maximizing that before it went away. And now I'm very glad that we did that because, of course, it's gone. So, as you can imagine, people are kind of server hopping at this point, trying to find one that has not been nerfed, but that's not been successful. I've seen several people coming into the server that I was in hardcore, and same thing. So they'd been in multiple different servers, and I think it actually took down all the servers at this point. If you're lucky enough to find one, definitely stay there until it resets, because that's definitely like free money. So you want to make sure that you're getting as many of those gems as possible. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and just start working on these quests. We did do a few yesterday. We did some of the a couple of the hatching ones in these first two areas. We did the coin piles, of course, but the one that's the toughest in this one is definitely the chests, because you need 500 of them. And as you guys can see, they spawn very rarely. So you really have to break everything to get anything to even spawn, which is super crazy. And it's going to take forever, quite honestly. So I don't know that I'm going to stay here and complete this one right now. I may move on to something that we can do a little bit faster, just to see if we can start racking up our points, and then kind of come back to the ones that are going to take a little bit longer as we go along. So let's do a few of these. Let's see if we can get a few of these chests to drop. I probably still need like probably 450 or more. I'm not sure because I haven't been in here since yesterday, since it actually updated. But let's see. So yep, I need 458 still. So yeah, that will take a good several hours unless we do the spinning technique, which I have not set up at this point. But we could certainly do that. We could probably do that as like an AFK type of thing at some point. But let's do a few more of these, and then let's go check out some more of the quests. By the way, what do you guys think about the update? I thought it was really a big win. I am definitely upset about the gems being nerfed now, but again, as I said, you know that's going to happen. If you didn't know, then you know it was just a little too generous. It was very generous, so thank you, Uncle Preston. I appreciate it, but it went away really fast, of course. So because again, I'm sure it messed up the economy, and I'm sure some of his like YouTube friends and things were telling him, "Hey, you can't do that because I'm not going to be able to sell my stuff or make any money or buy anything that's decent for a decent price," which is pretty legit, quite honestly. But it was super nice, anyways. So we came to a server with very few people in it. My friend Aaron Plays is in here. I think a couple other of my friends are going to come from the hardcore channel that we're in, hardcore server. So we'll see when they get here. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on. It looks like the fruits are actually spawning a little bit more often now too, which is great. So I know in the second area, the only one that I haven't completed is the presents. I think you had to get like 200 presents or something also. And I know I'd gotten, I don't know, maybe like 20 or so. I did not spend very much time in here yesterday doing these, so definitely have a long way to go. I know if you guys were watching LCLC stream yesterday, he is crazy, first of all, let me tell you, because he streamed for like 16 hours or something crazy like that, trying to do as many of these quests as he could. He was really set on getting the hoverboard, and he accomplished it about 2:30 this morning my time, which was about 9:30 this morning his time. And again, that was roughly like 16 hours of streaming time, which super crazy. It was super fun to watch though because he did get, I think he got like 2,000 subscribers during his live stream, which is pretty awesome. So super excited for him. That's really cool. Let's go see how many actual presents that we need, because this might be another one that we aren't going to spend a ton of time on right this second, that we may come back to and check out later. So we still need 167 presents in this area. So, and these do spawn much faster than the chests in the other area, but they're still not, like, they're not dropping like candy, that's for sure. So that does take a little time. So I'm going to probably sit here and do this for a second, maybe knock this one out, and I'll check back in just a minute. So while I'm doing these quests, I just realized that, well, I didn't realize actually, some of the people on my server told me, didn't you just realize that you hatched a huge pet? And I didn't realize it from my gifts, but look, I just got a huge peacock, so that's pretty awesome. So that will hopefully count as one of my 3 huge pets that I have to get. And we're still working on these quests. We've gotten a couple in the first 2 areas done, and then we're just kind of working through these other ones right now, trying to get some of these knocked out. But there's so many, and some of them are very difficult. So like in the Glacier World right here, you have to get, I think it is 3,000 presents. Let me go look at this again. Yeah, 3,000 of the presents, and I still need 2,831, which is insane. And then in the one right before it, you need a whole bunch of chests, and I think I'm down to like 700 at this point, so it's just, again, a ton. I think one big thing though that will really help people if you're just starting out or if you haven't done the initial 2 worlds, like the spawn world or the town and the forest, because in these 2 you needed to get a bunch of the presents, and then in the first, so in town you needed a bunch of these chests, and then in the forest you needed a bunch of the presents. So the thing that I did is I actually went and kind of stood over here on the side and just kind of angled my screen, and I would just kind of click back and forth on both sides. Make sure you're panning out, obviously, but click back and forth on both sides so you can actually see both worlds at the same time, or both areas at the same time, and that way you're able to knock out a whole bunch of different things and hopefully spawn them a lot quicker. It does actually work. It worked really well for me. It still takes time, I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely gonna take a lot of time to still do them, but it does actually help. So hope you guys are doing well on your quests. I'm gonna keep doing some more of mine, and as I learn new tricks and things, I will definitely post those. One other thing that I did realize, I know a lot of people have been talking about it on Twitter at this point as well, is that in the cave area where you have to hatch the Demortis pets, I think it's like 250 or 300 of them. Some people have said that they have to keep them versus auto delete them. Some people said that they haven't had to. I would encourage you to keep them anyways, and that way you can use them to get your gold quest done, your gold and your rainbow quest done, because you do have to convert a whole bunch of pets to gold and rainbow, and so just to have them, since you're gonna have to hatch them anyways, it's good to just actually have them and actually use the gold machine to do that. And also the other thing about that specific quest is that it actually is in the volcano egg. It's not in the egg that it actually mentions on the quest, or that a lot of us were thinking that it was actually in. So just a couple of tips. I'll tell you guys more as I go along and as I learn more. But that's what we've got so far. So guys, hope you're doing well. Take care. Have a great day. So something else people have been asking a lot about is what are the rank rewards? And those are actually what you get from using this machine right here, this little chest right here. You see how it says rank rewards above the chest? So if you're getting them in hardcore, it's not going to register here in normal for your quest. So make sure that you are collecting these in normal so that it does give you those rewards. I didn't get an actual rank up this time, but you'll often see little white letters with a star that says rank up, and that's what you're getting those from, is this chest here. So make sure that you do continue to use it. And then obviously make sure that you're using the daycare as well, because it is something that there is new mastery on, and we can't get ours quite yet, but just again, another reminder to make sure that you're using royalty pets in the dark matter machine and as high as power as you possibly can get, because those definitely give you the biggest return. I know yesterday one of my friends actually finally got the amiibo in the spaceship, which is really, really cool. Super fun to actually see that and get that. Um, and they actually weren't that high up, so that's pretty cool that they actually got that. But again, the royalty does give you better returns. And then one more reminder, just to make sure that as you're passing the fruits by, make sure you collect them because they definitely help with pretty much everything. You can help with getting damage on things that you're breaking, getting more coins on things that you're breaking, getting like the bananas or the lucky boosts. The oranges help you with other things as well. So there's all kinds of things that you can get for the multiplier. So there's the luck, the XP, the coins, the diamonds, or the oranges are the diamonds, and then definitely the damage. One thing I would highly recommend is if you're going to go do a quest to get a ton of diamonds, or even just going to get tons of diamonds for yourself so you can go get some gems in the plaza, I highly recommend that you go run through a few of your friends or your personal private server, and just get like literally every piece of fruit that you can get, especially those oranges, because it will really help you when you go into the diamond mine. It will help you to get much more return, much bigger return when you're getting your actual gems. So just make sure that you're using, obviously there's a ton of tools out there. For some, smaller kids and stuff, it may start to be a little bit confusing with just so much that's going on in the game. But I'm going to try to help you guys through it, try to help give you guys some tips, and whenever I learn something, I'll definitely share it. So I hope you guys are enjoying this video so far. I'm going to probably wait until tonight to post it because I'm going to try to get through a few more of the quests here and see what we can do with those. But so far we're doing pretty good. Hopefully you guys are as well. The biggest quest that I've been working on right now, I've been jumping around. I know a lot of people are actually just doing them in order. I've been trying to find ones that I can actually accomplish, some of them a little bit quicker, and some of them are going to take a very, very long time just to kind of balance it out. So I've been working on this one here. Oops, this one here in, I think it's Doodle Oasis. And it's one that's for breaking the giant chest. So I learned a hard lesson with this one also. I thought that it would be a great idea to put like 3/4 of the hardcore pets on here versus using just all huges. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to get, really good coin return, because we're going to have to hatch a ton of hardcore pets in order to be doing, in order to accomplish all the quests that are in Doodle and Kawaii. And I'd already spent 8 trillion coins in the Kawaii Dojo trying to hatch the secret shiny pet, and it didn't happen. So I was down to pretty much next to nothing. So I spent a whole night AFK on this chest with 16 hardcore pets, really high hardcore pets that had Cartoon 5, and 4 of the huge pets that had royalty and diamonds and things like that, just some kind of random enchants. But and I did it great. It did great with actually getting me cartoon coins. As you can see, I'm back up to 8 trillion. However, it did not accomplish breaking the chest very fast, which was kind of my goal, was to knock out this quest. And the quest was originally to break 1,500 of these chests. And as you can see right now, I've done this. I did this again last night, and I actually used all huges. And now I'm down to only having to do 436 more of them. So it's still a lot, but what I would encourage you to do is just put a couple of your hardcore pets on here, so you are still getting a little bit more of the coin return, but so you're also not only breaking, like 30, 40, 50 chests a night. Because if you use the huge pets, you're going to break at least 500 or 600, and it really definitely helps. So I figure in about probably 4 hours or so, if I set this on auto clicker, I will be able to have this quest accomplished, which is one of the more difficult quests for sure. So glad to get this one down to at least 2/3 of the way done. And just again, a good tip to remember: if you're breaking the chest and not necessarily trying to get all the coins that you need to get to use for hatching, use your huge pets, because it will definitely help with just breaking the chest as quickly as possible. And if you have Chest Breaker 3 and Strength 5 pets, use those also, because they definitely will help as well and knock those chests out. So anyways, more tips to come here shortly. Welcome back, everybody. So we spent the entire night last night going and actually trying to complete this quest on the Oasis chest. because I'd spent some time also last night going through and just trying to knock down some of the kind of ridiculous quests, like the 2000 vaults that is in, I believe, the desert. It's not the desert, it's the next area, but one of those areas. And then I'd gone through and also worked on some of the other quests, which were like the chests, like the mini chests, the coin piles, things like that. Because as you guys know and as you've seen, there's just a ton of these quests, and they're going to take a really long time. So I did complete the one for the Oasis chest. It did kick me off in the middle of the night, which kind of stinks, but that's okay. At least it did give me the completion for this chest, this quest. And so something else that I did learn also, I'm not sure if I shared with you guys yesterday or not, but I did hatch a huge peacock yesterday, and I didn't even actually know it when it hatched. I think I probably already told you guys this, but if I didn't, just know that when you're doing the hatch a huge quest, there's two huge quests. There's one that says hatch one huge, and there's one that says hatch 3 huges. And when I hatched a huge peacock, it actually didn't count for either one of them. So I just want to make sure you guys know that. Again, I'm pretty sure I already told you that yesterday when I was recording, but just want to make sure. This video is now spanned over a few days, just because I'm trying to figure out the best ways for you guys to kind of accomplish these tasks in a little bit quicker manner. And it's difficult, right? Like, it's really difficult, as you guys know. So what I've been doing in these first two areas, so there's a quest in this Doodle Meadow to actually break, like, I think it's like 3,000 coin piles, maybe 2,500. I think it was 3,000 though. I'm down to about 1,900 at this point, which is still a ton. And then in this next area right here, there's also a quest to break like some ridiculous amount of crates. And so I've been basically just kind of floating around and kind of panning around to just break the coin piles and the crates at the same time, so that you're working in two areas at one time. It does kind of narrow that down. And this is for people, of course, who don't have the ability to do the little spinning technique. If you guys do have the ability to do the spinning technique, you do need to be able to use Tiny Task and your auto clicker. So if you don't have that, it's super unfortunate, but I'm going to try to do this without using that, for just because I know a lot of people, a lot of kids and stuff don't have that ability. So I want to make sure that I show you guys how to do it without having those specific programs and such. If you're using like a small tablet or something that doesn't have the capability to actually run those programs, just so you know it can be done, even though it may be painful, it may be time consuming, but we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done together. So I'm going to continue doing that without using the Tiny Task, without using the spinning technique. I'm going to continue to work through it, just again so you guys know that it can be done. Another thing that I learned last night, or that I realized last night, was when I was hatching, I'd been hatching the, I think it was the spiked egg. Yeah, so the spiked egg. So let's actually go over there. Let me break a few more of these little crates here, since they've already spawned, and that will help us. Anytime I can break something that needs to be broken in whatever area I'm in, I always just do that. That way it just, it might not seem like it's a lot, but it will definitely reduce the number that you still have to get. So what I mean by that is, obviously when I just broke those crates, but also when you go back to spawn, let's say to collect your rank rewards, which are the rewards that come from this chest over here. So these are the rank rewards. Or if you're coming back to spawn to do the daycare, which you need to make sure that you do regularly, or you're going to check VIP, or going to look in your bank, or whatever you're coming over to spawn for, whatever area you still have quests in, I really encourage you to go. And if there's something that's already spawned in this area that you need, like in the first area, you needed to have these chests. So if I needed that at this point, I would click on this chest just to make sure that I got whatever was freely available. The second area, the forest area, you needed to get a bunch of presents. So if I still needed the presents, I would click on the presents, right? So that would have knocked out 3 more presents that I didn't have done already. Same thing in this area here. The beach area, I would have knocked out this little vault. Or safe, sorry, that's a safe. And then coming down here, this is where we need the vaults. So there's not any in here, which is unfortunate. And this is one that actually is going to be a little more time consuming than the others. So this is one where you're going to have to actually break a bunch of stuff to get them to spawn. And as you guys know, if you've gone through this quest, it does take the time to make these vaults spawn in this area. I did get lucky one time and had like 2 or 3 spawn at one time, but as you can see, I just broke all those things and not even one spawned, which kind of stinks because you need a whole bunch of them. But So that's just a good way to kind of work through that and make sure that you're maximizing your time, right? So if you're going to go to one area or one world, just run through the world and get whatever that is readily available to you. So in this area, I do also need some more safes. So I do see a safe here and I do see a safe here. So I'm going to take those. In this area, I need presents. So I'm going to just run through here and see if there's any presents available. So there's one here. Let's take that. And then let's see if there's any more. I don't see, oh, there's one more. There's actually, no, just one more. And then in this area, we do need some diamond pals. So we're going to go, we don't need too many diamond pals at this point. I think we only need about 100 more. So that's what we're going to knock out here. But what we're really looking for now is we're going to look at our next quest and see what we need to do. And I think it's the Demortis one. But anyways, so let's break a few more of these diamond pals because they did just spawn. And then we'll go and I'll kind of tell you what I did with the spiky eggs that we needed to get the 300 epics from. So let's run back up here to the shop. And let's take out this chest as we go through. There's another chest that we could use. So again, it's a really good idea just to maximize your time and your resources that are already here. Because these are things that don't take the time to click a bunch of stuff to actually spawn them. It just took me the time to run through it is all it did. So when I went up here last night and I did complete this quest to get the 300 epics out of the spiky eggs, what I did was I also made sure that I was keeping them, just the epics. So I set it to keep the epics. Let's actually zoom in here. So I used this egg particularly. I set it to just keep the epics. And of course, it's always set on keeping mythicals, that kind of stuff. And then I am keeping the shinies also because there's several quests that you need to actually have a bunch of shiny pets. And the shiny pets also will sell in the plaza. Not for a ton, obviously, because these are shop eggs. But anything counts, right? And one of the quests is you have to sell 100 pets in the plaza. So even if you hatch these shiny pets and you sold them for like 100 gems or 1,000 gems or whatever gems you want to sell them for, that's where you can easily rack up those 100 sales in the plaza. So I really encourage you to do that. So the next quest that we need to start working on is the one for the Demortis. And I think we need to hatch like some ridiculous number of them. I'm not sure even what the number is. I'd have to go check. But and it says that it's coming out of a different egg than the volcano egg. But what I've learned from just friends and tips and stuff that I've picked up and I've seen is that it actually comes out of this egg right here. So you need to be hatching this egg right here particularly, and you need to be keeping the epics because it is this pet right here, and it is an epic pet. So we want to make sure that we're keeping that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to keep the legendaries also, because what I did yesterday with those spiky eggs is I then took the pets that I hatched from it and I went and made them gold, and then I made them rainbow, the ones that I could, and then I also made them into dark matter because there's quests for gold, rainbow, and dark matter. So again, it's just making sure that you're not only thinking about the quest that you're currently working on, but you're thinking about the other quests that you're going to have to do further on through the game, and it will save you additional hatching time and additional just time in general when you can knock out more than one quest at a time, right? So anyways, I hope those tips have helped you. I'm going to go ahead and end this video particularly at this point just because I want to start a new one on the next portions of the quests. And I don't want to wait too long because I know you guys have all started these quests, probably well into them at this point, but I don't want to wait too long just because it's something where I want to make sure that you guys are getting timely tips and they're able to actually help you and help you get through the game and make sure that you're accomplishing these. I've heard from so many people these are super hard quests, and I agree. They're really hard, but I think, to Preston's credit, to Uncle Preston's credit, a lot of us were kind of bored with the game, right? Like we wanted something else to do. And this is definitely a challenge. I think the biggest thing, I guess the biggest heartburn that I would have with it is that we're having to spend so many gems to kind of fuse things and convert things and dark matter things and buy from the traveling merchant and the mysterious merchant that costs a ton of gems for things that we don't need, right? Especially for those people that are just hardcore players. It's something where we're not going to use these pets, right? So I've just been giving them away or just auto-deleting them, quite honestly. So that's the one thing that I wish it wouldn't have been eating my gems so much, but that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. So anyways, you guys, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned because there's going to be a series of these videos for the quests and tips and tricks. And anyways, have a great one. Thanks, guys. Take care.